Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Regadon. Before we start the attack on the defender's heart, I want to buy a few scrolls for later, otherwise I may forget. And now we should be ready. Are you ready? Start battle. I'm ready to defend this place. Amade, help us all. This battle won't be easy. I don't think I'll bring Woljif along for this fight. Let's do that instead. Kill the arsonists.
I welcome your company.
It's time to act!
Let's have some fun.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Alright, skill bars are finally organized.
Out of my sight!
I want seal up front though.
I will see to your demise.
You should have listened to reason.
Alright, let's try and get a grease over here.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
And also a haunting mists.
You won't survive me.
I'm gonna send any around. I know where more enemies spawn at, so I'm gonna put more greases down. Put one up here. That's your word about the stinking cloud, so you want to look through the crowd for arsonists. None have spawned yet.
The light!
Endure
Take
this!
you.
Don't hold back!
Alright, grease there, then I'm gonna put one over here. Actually, maybe I don't need one over there yet.
Precision and grace.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be fine for now. I do want to try and get some buffs out while I can. Gonna drop that right there as well. I don't like the Dretch going after Ever like that. I'll try to put him to sleep, I guess. Your mind? Thank you, buddy.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Strike!
Let's try to reposition real quick.
Into the fray!
You should have run!
You won't survive me.
Alright, so there is at least one arsonist back there. Let's try to have Land take care of him before he can get to us.
Endure this.
Alright, so this is where we start running into problems. Our NPC allies run into our little bottleneck here.
Make every strike count.
I'll make short work
Mind
of this.
over muscle.
Nenio, you shouldn't be running forward, you goofball. Alright, so they're gonna start swarming the rooftops. We can kind of stop that.
You've crossed the wrong
I'm
mongrel.
gonna keep my ranged characters down here and send all my melee characters up to the roof. In fact, you can probably dive bomb them to get up there a little faster. There's an
Surrender
arsonist
or
right there.
else. Too late for apologies. I'll hit you.
Alright, there's another arsonist. There's actually two arsonists.
You won't survive me.
Out of my sight!
Alright, so we need to pull back a little bit. I want to get some summons out from Darren. Buy us some time.
I'm done with you!
Endure this. Make every strike count.
The melee guys I'm not too worried about. They're going to run straight to this crowd and get cut down, so...
I'll remove this obstacle.
I'm going to lose one of the defenses. Unfortunately.
This will hurt!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Did you see that? You won't survive me.
Don't hold back! Strike!
Endure this!
You should have run!
The inheritor.
Alright, time for the boss fight. Or I guess more of a mini boss fight. If we get lucky, he'll fall into grease and we have time to reposition and take him on. But we need to try and get down here anyway. Alright, we'll try to put him to sleep if we can. Nice. Okay, that gives us plenty of time. To get some summons out.
Make every strike count. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
This will hurt!
I was just chasing my main character down the stairs. Let's go ahead and get our haste out.
I am your end! Don't hold back!
You're irrelevant.
Alright, everybody reposition. Let's go ahead and reduce armor class. Land, take care of the arsonist,
won't
please.
Survive me.
Strike! Thank you for amusing
Alright,
me.
Minotaur is down.
I will see to your demise. You should have run!
There we have it. So that can get a little hectic, especially if you don't know where the enemies are going to come from or how the battle plays out. Also, if you don't take out the enemies at the Tower of Estrad, they'll show up here as well. A victory. Canopus bites back and our teeth are sharp. Erebeth is glowing with zeal as she raises her fist in triumph. Now we take the fight to them. By the way, take a look at this. Erebeth holds out a macabre-looking rod made of bone. While we were fighting, something strange happened in the tavern cellar. Now this is tied to one of the DLC through the ashes. We're still not sure what exactly happened, but we found this on the floor. It's clearly of demonic origin. I wanted to destroy it, but Nevia thought you'd be able to use the magic in it for noble ends. So we got the Rada Mortiferous Blizzard. What happened in the cellar? It appears that some cultists got in, but they quickly withdrew again. Our people are questioning the witnesses now. Come and see me a little later. I hope to have a more detailed picture of events soon. What are our losses? Minimal. The battle wasn't easy, but thanks to you, we chewed them up and spat them out again. They thought they could break us, but they only bolstered our spirits. Will there be another attack? I doubt it. Demons aren't famed for their organization. We'll strike a blow at the Grey Garrison long before they regroup for a new assault. Congratulations on the victory. It wouldn't have been possible without you. That reminds me. We found this among the attackers' remains. This trophy rightly belongs to you. Nicely done. Now our goal is to rout the demons in the Grey Garrison, just like we did here. Alright, so the Rada Mortiferous Blizzard. Not Blizzard. This rod grants its wielder the ability to change the energy damage of up to 3 spells they cast per day to cold damage. If an enemy is damaged by an instant damage spell cast with this rod, they must pass a reflex saving throw DC equal to the spell's DC, or become slowed for 1d4 rounds as per the slow spell. The affected enemy emanates a 15-foot aura of frost for the same duration. Any enemy who enters his aura must pass reflex saving throw DC equal to the spell's DC, or become slowed for 1d4 rounds. It's okay. A heavy flail of weakness. Whenever the wielder this +1 cold iron heavy flail confirms a critical hit with it, the target suffers a -1 penalty on attack rolls for 1 round. That's not very good at all.
I'm gone.
I thank you for saving the esteemed citizens of Canabris, even though not all of them deserve to be saved. May Amade forgive my words. Erebeth casts a meaningful look at Count Arendae, sitting at a nearby table. I don't really mean that, of course. I just never fail to be astounded by the way that good people seem to perish, while the not-so-good prove to be incredibly, amazingly enduring. Even so, the Count did offer me his aid. He can't be all that bad. Yes, that's not like him at all. Joining the Crusades is a tradition among Mendevian nobles, but Darren Arendae was never too keen on fighting demons. The Count has a certain reputation in Mendev. He's not a pleasant individual by any means, but he's not known for any particular villainy either. The Count enjoys a life of leisure surrounded by a gaggle of sycophants, who are always eager to badmouth the Queen at his command. He likes settling scores, too. There was a hero of the First Crusades, Sir Lant, a kind and honest man. After the end of his glorious career as a soldier, he became a wise mentor to the younger generation. He ran afoul of the Count somehow, perhaps by lecturing him about his idle lifestyle and a lack of purpose. When Sir Lant died, the Count managed to buy a portion of his estate and ordered the knight's helmet to be reforged into a chamber pot. And of course, he didn't keep his little joke private. The Queen was particularly affronted by it, because Sir Lant used to be her most loyal comrade in arms. I was there receiving an assignment from Her Majesty, and witnessed the exact moment she found out about the helmet's fate. It's a small thing, but I could see the Queen's anguish at the travesty that had been made of her friend's legacy. That's what our Count is like as a person. And as for his talent for survival, you know the story of Heaven's Edge. He was the only member of his family to escape with his life when the demons unleashed a magical plague at the Arendae estate. Could you tell me more about the events at Heaven's Edge? I don't know all the details. It happened a while ago, back when I was a mercenary. It had nothing to do with Canabris. I only know that there was a grand feast in honor of Darren's birthday, and all his relatives were invited along with a few other distinguished guests. Everyone died from a mysterious disease someone had unleashed on the estate, including the servants, the guards, and a number of clerics and paladins. But the young Count survived, because of his healing ability, I suppose. Darren does possess an unusually brilliant talent, even if the application of his skills leaves much to be desired. Erebeth scowls. But why is he trying to provoke the Queen? Who knows? It could be some family matter. The Count is Her Majesty's cousin twice removed or something like that. I think he simply enjoys infuriating people. Crusaders and Amade's servants especially. Thank you for telling me all this. My pleasure. I'm sorry you had to endure my grumbling. Watching these things happen to my city has put me in a foul mood. I found Janna Aldori like you asked. Yes, thank you. It's good to have her back. We need every fighter we can get. Erebeth frowns. I suppose it's asking too much to want fighters that are sober as well. What is our strategy for the attack on the Grey Garrison? I shall lead the rest of my forces in a frontal assault. This will distract the enemy enough to let you use the secret passage and reach the Wardstone. Destroy it before the demons turn Naimade's gift into a weapon of the Abyss. Most of the allies you found will join my forces. You can expect a certain amount of support from them. The problem with Desnans is that you never know what to expect from those daydreamers. Their honorable prior, Ramian, claims he has had a vision in which his goddess was putting demons to sleep. I like to hope it wasn't merely a dream. In these dark days, the most unlikely allies join forces to fight the common foe. All tieflings are treated with prejudice in Canabris, let alone the smugglers and the thieves of their kind. And yet, they're on our side, and I'll make sure the contribution is not forgotten after the victory. It'll be of little use in open combat, but they'll help you spot secret doors and warn you about traps. What happened in the tavern cellar? Something strange. Our portal opened in the middle of the cellar, and a cultist in a terrifying mask emerged from it. Luckily, there were some hardened fighters in the cellar who stopped the cultists from slaughtering everyone here. One of Anevia's scouts knocked a rod from the cultist's hand, the rod I gave to you. In revenge, the demon worshipper cast a spell and vanished, along with the same brave warriors who dared to fight against him. Airbreath rubs her red and tired eyes. Any success? How is the city? The Tower of Estrad has been cleared of demons. Great. The places where the demons have gathered need to be cleared one by one. Then they won't be able to stab us in the back when we take on the Grey Garrison. Thank you for your service. Let me think. So we're not on a time limit any longer. I can rest as much as I need to, or want to.
We do it my way.
Alright, let's not rest up yet. We're going to leave and re-enter real quick. Well, first, let's go over here and grab this.
Follow if you dare.
So now there's some new named NPCs standing around. They're from the Through the Ashes DLC as well, like Brody here. What's happened to my family? I was saved, but will I ever see them again? And I? They're reckless with themselves. Get caught up in the demon's claws, and I patched them up. Within a day, they come back riddled with holes, and I sew them up again.
I'm off.
I believe the other two are still... Oh, there's Langrat. How can the horror of war and the beauty of music exist in the same world? I don't understand it. I believe the other guy's still inside.
What in the name of the Green Mother's going on in this crazy town?
The ceiling gives way with a thundering crash, and a griffin lands on the floor of the tavern. In a flash, the creature transforms. A huge red-bearded man now stands before you. Holding his arms, he casts a proprietary eye over the tavern, and in a deep, booming voice asks,
Who's in charge here? You there in the armor? Or is it you, tavern keeper? Or maybe it's you, old-timer? Oh, you, I remember. You were in that ravaged fortress with all the books. You can explain all this to me.
His nut-brown eyes bounce from Airbeth to Gemmel, and then to the storyteller, before finally landing on you.
Well?
Ignoring the looks of astonishment, the man approaches and looks you dead in the eye. Look back at him, saying nothing.
You're good.
You stare wordlessly at each other for a while. At last, the big man looks away.
All right. First things first. If by some chance you don't already know, they call me Ulbrig. Ulbrig Olesk. Chief of the Olesk clan. The one that gave Barzog's orcs a drubbing. What, never heard of them either? I'll be damned. Is this an illusion or something? One minute I'm laying myself down for a nap in a glade one summer's day, and the next I'm waking up among ruins and flames and monsters running riot. And no one knows me. But you see, my name's famous across Sarkoris. Where in the blazes am I? What's going on here?
Ulbrig pensively runs his large hand over his beard. You've heard songs that tell of the glorious victory of an alliance of Sarkorian tribes over an orcish horde led by a chief called Barzog. But that was a long time ago, centuries in the past, before the demon invasion. Is it possible that this man does not know that Sarkoris has fallen? You couldn't come through the door.
The door would have been smarter, right enough. I was asleep too long, that must be it. My head's all muddled. I remember I was flying over the city looking for something, and when I found it, I just drove straight for it. Roads and roofs be damned. But what was I looking for? Drinks? Warriors? No, that's not it. Or maybe you. Was I looking for you?
Ulbrig looks at the hole made in the ceiling by his entrance, and sheepishly scratches the back of his head. You said you saw him in the library. When?
Now, let me think. Strange that the memory's in there, but it's all broken up in little pieces. So, I opened my eyes. I saw books and stones around me, and you were there. Then I was flying over the city. I had wings. And then I was in this here tavern, and then I saw you again.
Ulbrig tugs on his red beard as he ponders. He peers at his arms. In the library, there's a stone statue of a griffin. It came to life suddenly and flew off. Was that you?
A statue, you say? Strange. I don't remember being turned to stone. But if it looked like a griffin, then it must have been me. Take a gander at this. Don't worry, I won't scratch you. I'm no werewolf, I'm a shifter. My powers were granted to me by the sacred griffin Eivor, who protects our clan. I doubt you've got any other griffins flying about this city of yours.
Ulbrig displays his large hand to you. He bends his fingers, and they immediately turn crooked, transforming into razor-sharp bird talons. You're saying you fell asleep in Sarkoris and woke up here.
That's what I'm saying to you. I was plucked like a fish from a pond and carried off to God's nowhere. All right, that's enough questions from you. Now answer some of mine. Where am I, and what's going on here?
So he actually likes option 2. I'm gonna go with option 1, of course. Tell the truth. The city is called Canabris. I don't know how long you were asleep. Sarkoris hasn't existed for 100 years.
Oh, I can't take it anymore. Oh, you got me there. You're telling me I fell asleep for 100 years. Sarkoris was swallowed by demons, and Canabris, that little fishing village, is now a fortress city. Oh, go on, pull the other one.
Ulbrig listens to you in silence, but his expression becomes more and more bewildered as you speak. At last, the big man explodes in a fit of rumbling laughter.
Fine. If you don't want to tell me what's going on, don't. We're in a tavern, not in the middle of nowhere. There's plenty of folks around. I'm sure one of these people will tell me what's happening here. There's one thing I do know without asking. You've got a tough fight on your hands. I'm not one to wait on an invitation to a brawl, so if you're making ready to break some demon horns, I'm going with you. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have a taste of whatever ale they brew here.
Ulbrig looks around. Alright, our newest companion, Ulbrig, is a shifter. Where is this guy? There he is,
I
Bamir.
do what I must.
Alright, easy, Bamir. Don't lose your nerve. The worst is behind us. Now you just have to lay low and be as quiet as a mouse.
I'm gone.
Let's take a look at Ulbrig. So, neutral good. He's a human, of course, a Griffin Heart shifter. The proud and fearless Griffin is a creature dedicated to protecting its territory. These regal beasts are revered as symbols of freedom and strength in many cultures. So that's actually a class unique to him. You can be a shifter, but you can't be a Griffin Heart shifter. So he starts with power attack, we've read that before. He has the Hermit background. Hermit adds lore nature to the list of her class skills. She also becomes proficient with clubs, great clubs, quarterstaves, and darts. None of the weapons matter because he only uses natural attacks. Well, ideally. He has the Green Faith, same as... She also has Green Faith. I don't know why it's not showing up. But the Green Faith is a naturalistic philosophy based on the belief that natural forces are worthy of attention and respect. Followers of the Green Faith meditate daily, commune with natural forms of power, and show respect to nature in all things. Domains are animal, earth, fire, plant, and water. Their favorite weapon is the sickle. It also has weapon focus claw. So we've read weapon focus before, it's just a bonus to claw attacks. And weapon focus bite. There's a lot going on here. So shifter claws. So at will, a shifter in her natural form can extend her claws as a swift action to use as a weapon. The claws on each hand can be used as a primary natural attack, dealing 1d4 points of piercing and slashing damage, 1d3 if she is small. As a shifter gains levels, the power of her claws increases. At 3rd level, her claws bypass a DR in except for cold, in except for magic, and in except for silver. At 7th level, her claw damage increases to 1d6, 1d4 if small. At 11th level, her claw damage increases to 1d8, 1d6 if small. At 13th level, her claw damage increases to 1d10, 1d8 if small. At 17th level, the damage die does not increase, but the critical multiplier becomes times 3. Finally, at 19th level, the claws bypass DR in except for adamantine, and in nothing. While a shifter uses Wild Shape to assume her aspect's major form, her primary natural attacks gain the same benefits granted by her shifter claws ability. She can use either the base damage of her shifter claws or the damage of the form's primary attacks, whichever is greater. A list of primary attacks is provided in the description of each major form. Simple weapon proficiency. You become proficient with all simple weapons. Armor proficiency, light armor. You become proficient with light armor. Armor proficiency, medium armor. I'm not sure why these aren't all lumped together. Some classes have all the proficiencies lumped together, so either way, you become proficient with medium armor. Shield proficiency, you become proficient with bucklers, light shields, and heavy shields. Never considered giving him a shield, but good. Griffin aspect. This ability unlocks the aspect of the proud and fearless griffin, a creature dedicated to protecting its territory. These regal beasts are revered as symbols of freedom and strength in many cultures. A Griffin Heart Shifter can take on the aspect of the griffin and assume griffin traits as a swift action. While in this form, she gains an aura that grants her and her allies within 30 feet a +2 bonus on saving throws against fear effects. She also gains a +2 inherent bonus to her strength score. She can maintain this form for a number of minutes per day equal to 3+ her shifter level. The duration does not need to be consecutive, but it must be spent in 1-minute increments. At 5th level, the Griffin Heart Shifter grows a pair of bird-like wings that grant her immunity to ground-based effects. At 10th level, the Griffin Heart Shifter's bonus to strength increases to +4, and her aura now grants her and her allies immunity to fear. At 15th level, the Griffin Heart Shifter's bonus to strength increases to +6. She gains a +4 inherent bonus on her will saving throws. At 20th level, the Griffin Heart Shifter's bonus to strength increases to +8. Her inherent bonus on will saving throws increases to +6. And she becomes resistant to movement impairing effects as per the Freedom of Movement spell. This alters and replaces all improvements to Shifter aspect. Okay, I already read that. Alright, level 2, Defensive Instinct. At 2nd level, when unarmored, not using a shield, and conscious, the Shifter adds her Wisdom bonus, if any, to her armor class and CMD. In addition, the Shifter gains a +1 bonus to her armor class and CMD at 4th level. This bonus increases by 1 for every 4 Shifter levels thereafter, up to a maximum of +5 at 20th level. If she's wearing non-metal armor, she instead adds half her Wisdom bonus to her armor class, minimum 0. These bonuses to armor class apply even against touch attacks and when the Shifter is flat-footed. She loses these bonuses when she is immobilized or helpless. These bonuses do not stack with the Monk armor class bonus class feature. And Track. At 2nd level, a Shifter adds half her class level as a bonus on lore nature checks. So Shifter Claws at level 3. At 3rd level, her claws bypass DR in except cold iron, in except magic, and in except silver. Woodland Grace. At 3rd level, a Shifter ignores movement penalties caused by difficult terrain, is immune to the entangled condition, and gains a +2 bonus to armor class against attacks of opportunity. So at 4th level, the Griffin Shape. At 4th level, a Griffin Heart Shifter can use her Wild Shape ability to become a Griffin. This ability lasts for 1 minute. The Master Shapeshifter Mythic ability makes this duration permanent. Using Griffin Shape as a standard action that does not cause attacks of opportunity, your Griffin Heart Shifter can use Griffin Shape for a number of times per day equal to her Shifter level plus her Wisdom modifier. While in this form, she gains a base speed of 50 feet, 2 claw attacks, 1d6 damage, and a bite attack, 1d8 damage, and immunity to ground-based effects. While in this form, the Griffin Heart Shifter gains the grabber ability with her claw attacks. She also gains a combat feat, using her shifter level as her effective fighter level for the purpose of meeting the prerequisites. If he has levels in fighter, these levels stack. So I'm not sure why it changes from she to he here. Usually it's pretty consistent, and it's always the opposite sex of the character that you're reading the description for. At 9th level, the Griffin Heart Shifter gains the Pounce ability, and the improved natural attack ability with her bite attack, and she can select another combat feat. At 14th level, the Griffin Heart Shifter can select a 3rd combat feat and gains the Rake ability. And also, Weapon Specialization Claw. So you're skilled at dealing damage with one weapon. Choose one type of weapon, including Unarmed Strike, for which you already have selected the Weapon Focus feat. You do extra damage when using this weapon. As a benefit, you gain a +2 bonus on all damage rolls you make using the selected weapon. In Special, you can gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take the feat, it applies to a new type of weapon. Alright, go level him up. So at level 5, he gets a feat. Athletics, Mobility, Lore Nature, and Perception. So extended aspects, probably not. Let's go with Focus Strike. We've already read this, my main character has it as well. When you're wielding a two-handed weapon or one-handed weapon with 2 hands and using the power attack feat, you do not suffer power attack's penalty on melee attack rolls on the first attack you make each turn. You still suffer the penalty on any additional attacks, including attacks of opportunity. It's really good for the Alpha Strike. Alright, let's talk to Ulbrig real quick, so next time we can set out and wrap up Act 1. Or at least everything before the Great Garrison. Oh, hey there. Just a lad I wanted to talk to. To your health, by the way. Ulbrig sips from his beer mug. I asked around about this here city, and about the whole hubbub. You lot are fighting and why. And the more I hear, the less I understand. So you weren't lying about Canabris and the demons invading. Everyone, from the tavern keeper to a knight, is giving me the same hookum. They all say Sarkoris was burned to the ground by a bunch of Oglins 100 years ago. And Canabris, the god's-forsaken village the size of a pig's snout, was turned into this massive fortress to defend against him. Which means I must have slept for 100 years and didn't notice a thing. So what am I to make of this? Am I the barmy one, or is it everyone else? Or maybe we've all been bewitched by Fae, and are living in the yarn they're spinning. Talk about a doozy. Ulbrig scratches his beard. I want to ask you something. Oh, that's right. I had a question of my own to ask you. Explain to me plain and simple. Back when we first met, what was that all about? How did I end up in that fortress with all the books? Why did I wake up right when you came? This is Horse Feathers. The real Horse Feathers here is how many questions you're able to ask without pausing for breath, or letting me get in a word edgeways. There, I've asked them all. Just answer already. I'm all ears. That griffin statue had stood in the library for decades. Does this mean I was napping inside the statue? And what woke me up was probably the grasshopper god smashing the city with his scythe. I'm a heavy sleeper, but no one could have slept through a whopper like that. No, it still doesn't make a lick of sense. Right. So what was it you wanted to ask about? Tell me about your homeland. I'll tell you this. Sarkoris isn't a country. Sarkoris is a whole world. Just imagine, a link standing at the edge of a snowy woods in the north, perch splashing in the Selen in the east, furry bumblebees buzzing over the blooming hills of the south, and everywhere you look there are people, the likes of which you won't find anywhere in the world. They're the bravest in battle and the fleetest in dance. Hundreds of tribes, each with its own legends, songs, heroes, gods, and spirits. Now you tell me, could a land like that really have perished because of a few grasshoppers? I won't believe it. Ever. Alright, now your turn. Where do you hail from? Who's your tribe? Our humble party is my only tribe, and it's all the tribe I need. Right you are. When you're left all alone, all you can do is huddle together with other orphans and castaways. I used to look down on people like that. I'm more than these vagabonds, I thought to myself. And now it turns out I am one. Well, if that's how it is, then no. I can't call your band my tribe, I'm sorry. But I will guard you like a mother bear guards her cubs. We might make it out of this mess yet. You're from the Olesk clan, right? Tell me about it. Our clan is one of the oldest. Our history goes back to a time before Sarkors was settled, when our ancestors lived in the mountains in the far north. Once their mountain home had become too small for them, they went down to the untrodden hills and forests of the south, drove out the monsters and the giants, and founded Sarkors. Even back then, the Olesks were the first into every battle, the first to build a settlement on their land. People wrote so many songs about our deeds, that if I were to start singing them all to you now, we'd be stuck here for a good month. Who routed the Orcish invaders? Who seduced the Fey Queen and stole her tiara? Whose apples are the size of a hair, and whose cider made from those apples can knock a bear out? That's right, it's all us, the Olesks. If giants lived there before your ancestors came, you can't really call those lands untrodden, can you? Ha ha ha, oh, you're a laugh. You're saying giants are people. Have you seen one with your own eyes? They can't even speak our tongue. They just growl and fart. They may look like humans, but they're dumber than frogs. All they know is eating and fighting. They feast on human flesh, I'll have you know. So don't feel bad for those freaks. Our ancestors were right to cut them down. What was your role in the tribe? I was the chieftain, and not by right of blood like in some tribes. It takes more than being born in the right family to lead the Olesks. You have to earn that right from our divine patron, Ervar. The heavenly griffin chose me. Ulbrig chuckles mirthlessly. Except, as you can see, it didn't do my clan much good. The chieftain's duty is to be with their people, in peace and in war, in life and in death. And what did I do? Abandon them. There's no two ways about it. I missed everything. I slept through everything. Tell me about your patron, the griffin. Ervar, the griffin whose beak has marked the sun and whose talons have raked the moon. Ulbrig crosses his arms in a ritual gesture. He's the ancient protector of our clan. From each generation, he chooses one who is worthy of wielding his power and leading his tribe. But ever since I woke up here, he hasn't spoken to me once. No prophetic dreams, no answers, no signs. His power is still with me, so he must be alive. Then why is he silent? He shakes his red mane helplessly. Thank you for your answers. I'm always up for a chat, especially when there's still beer to be drunk. I want to ask you something. You go ahead and ask. Alright, I have to go. Soft grass underfoot to you. Cheers. Ulbrig takes a drink from the flask he is holding. I don't know what this is. A dream, a phase illusion, or I've popped into another world. But you people sure know how to brew good beer. Alright, so we've got some armor for him. Oh, he already had hide armor +1. Well, then I can sell this.
We do it my way.
So, look at this again. So I think this will apply to bite. I'm not actually 100% on that. Oh, we'll figure it out. Either way, he'll be a mainstay of the party this playthrough. I actually want to go rest up.
Follow if you dare.
So we'll rest up, then we'll get ready to set out next time. We've got the Tierbade residents to take care of. I thought there was something else. Must be a pain, having to cut a hole in every pair of pants for your tail. For once I actually feel lucky compared to somebody else. Oh, we have Gorm's Mansion with Camellia. It ain't just a case of making a hole. I need to stitch it so the whole seam doesn't split. That's why I learned to sew. My tale's a blessing in disguise.
I'm off. I do what I must.
Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we're gonna knock out the Tierbade Residence and Gwyrm's Mansion. At least that's the plan. But for now, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.